So I have a very special guest today, and this is my father. He's, so special to me, and he has a very good story that he wants to share with you guys. And so I'm not going to take too much time introducing him. I'm just going to let him take it away.
All right, well, thank you. Hello, everyone. I'm going to tell you a story that happened to me many years ago, and it's about my grandmother and her passing. And this is a story that happened well over 50 years ago, and it's still fresh in my mind like it happened yesterday. Me and my baby brother was sitting on the floor, hugging my grandmother's legs and complaining about what was on the TV. She likes to watch the news, and we wanted to watch cartoons or something like that. So we kept bugging Grandma, please change the channel, please change the channel. So, eventually she just decided to get up and change the channel. And when she did, see, this is way before remote controls and everything like this here. You can imagine in 1963, there was no remote controls or anything like that. She had to actually get up, walk across the room, and change the channel, which she did. She walked across the room, changed the channel, turned around, and all the thing we heard was boop, and she fell down on the floor and stopped breathing. My brother ran over and tried to do some form of resuscitation. Even back then, I don't know if they called it CPR or not, but it was some form of resuscitation. He tried to get her going. I got on the phone. There was no 911 back in those days. You had to call the operator and ask for the police department or somebody to come and help you. So I called and I said, please hurry, we need help. My grandmother just fell out and she's not breathing. And the operator said, stop playing on the phone, kid, and hung up on me. So I had to call back again. And I said, please help me. My grandmother just passed out. She's laying on the floor. She looks like she's not breathing. Can you please send somebody to help us? So the lady asked where we lived and whatever like this here. And back then, the police ran the ambulances. So the police ambulance showed up. Me and my younger brother, we're standing there hoping that Grandma will be all right, even though we could just clearly see that she wasn't breathing. We're just hoping Grandma will be all right. The policeman walks in, he looks over, and the only thing he looks over and he says, yeah, she's dead. And me and my brother just fell out on the floor, crying and very upset.
So was it just you and your brother there by yourselves?
Yeah, with my grandmother. My grandmother took care of us from the very beginning. My mother was a single parent, and she was very young, and she had to work every day. So she would go to work, and my grandmother would look after me and my younger brother, make sure that we were taken care of, make sure we were safe and sound. And 50-something years later, it plays back in your mind. Because we felt bad for a long time because we bugged Grandma to get up to change the channel. And when she changed the channel, she had a heart attack and died.
Yeah, but
right.
that's nothing. That wasn't your fault at all.
Well, it's something that's deep. But now, to get to the paranormal side of the story was, I grieved over this for quite some time. And I remember one evening I was sitting at home by myself thinking about how much I missed my grandmother, the person that had taken care of me and my brother for so many years. And I was sitting, I'll never forget, I was sitting home alone, by myself, alone, on the couch, and I'm thinking about how much I missed my grandmother and how much I wish she was there. And while I was sitting there, thinking of these things, a strange feeling came over me, and I looked to the empty seat next to me, and I actually saw, even though no one was sitting there, the seat depressed as if someone was sitting there. And it stayed depressed. And then this feeling came over me of not to worry. She was still there. Even though I couldn't see her, she was still there. And from that point on, my whole perspective on life and death changed. You know, a lot of times just because the person is unseen does not mean that they are not there and still taking care of you as she had done for most of our lives up until the point she passed.
When we think people leave us, they're just not here with us physically, but they're still here with us spiritually. And that's something important that we have to keep in mind.
I think that was my grandmother's way to show me, even though at a very young age, but to show me that even though she was not there in the physical form, she would always be with me spiritually. And that's helped me get through my entire life with the comings and goings of my aunts and my uncles and my cousins and other people who have gone on to the next phase. It helped me deal with that by understanding that just like my grandmother, even though they're gone, they're still present. And if necessary, they can make their presence known.
Yep, that spirit transcends that human body, the flesh. And so we have to keep that in mind and just, I thank you so much for giving me that story, because I've heard bits and pieces of it, but I never heard the whole story.
Well, I
appreciate that for sharing that with me and with, everybody else, all the viewers, because they really appreciate that.
Well, I'm glad I was able to share this story, and I hope everyone enjoys it.
We definitely enjoy it.
And get some spiritual uplifting from it, because that was my first, and basically that was my first and most major encounter with the possibility of some type of existence beyond the existence that we know right now. I thank you very much for listening to my story, and I thank you very much